So apparently, if you torch a $350 million Disney movie, alienate half the internet, and make Snow White controversial again, you don't get canceled, you get a trophy. Because Glamour Magazine just crowned Rachel Zegler one of their 2025 Women of the Year. I'm sorry, what year is it again? Today we're breaking down how you can lose Disney hundreds of millions and still get a standing ovation from Hollywood's elite. Spoiler alert, the numbers aren't as pretty as the press release. Roll the intro. So what exactly does it take to become Woman of the Year in 2025? Apparently, take a major studio release, turn PR disasters into activism, and rebrand box office failure as empowerment. Yeah, Rachel Zegler, the actress who turned Snow White into a headline machine, is being honored as one of Glamour Magazine's Women of the Year. Today we're going to break down how this happened, what the numbers really say, and why this award might be the most Hollywood thing ever. But before we jump in, do me a favor, it helps out with the algorithm. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell so you don't miss a video, and drop a comment below. Does Rachel Zegler deserve this award, or has Hollywood officially lost the plot? So just a few days ago on October 27th, 2025, Glamour Magazine announced its 2025 Women of the Year honorees under the theme Sisterhood. Past recipients include Oprah, Serena Williams, Malala, and Billie Eilish. So, actual legends. This year's class features Miss Rachel, the kid YouTube creator, makeup artist Pat McGrath, 5 WNBA stars, Demi Moore and Tyla, and yes, the aforementioned Rachel Zegler. Her profile was written by Helen Mirren, who worked with her on Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Yeah, remember that one? Mirren describes Zegler as having, quote, talent, courage, and compassion, and called her one of Hollywood's most promising young voices. The ceremony took place at the Plaza Hotel in New York on November 4th and streamed live across Glamour's channels. Zegler, who appeared at the UK event, praising her sisterhood with Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu. Lovely sentiment, but let's not forget, this comes just 7 months after one of Disney's most expensive flops ever. Now let's get into the cold, hard data. Snow White's box office failure. Snow White, well, it roughly cost somewhere in the neighborhood of $240 to $270 million to produce. And another $70 million for marketing. That's a $350 million total of investment. It grossed around $206 million worldwide. Optimists, you gotta be optimistic about this, say it grossed $225 million. Now, a movie needs 2.5 times its budget to break even. Some would dispute that, but I'm going to run with that number anyway. So Disney likely lost around $115 million. Now, that's not a flop. That's a detonation. Opening weekend was just $42 million, followed by a 66% drop in week 2. By week 4, it was pulling in less than $3 million. Critics, well, the critics gave it a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. Audiences were lukewarm at 72%. Now, I just got to say, after seeing that movie, audience score 72%, that's awfully generous. Just my opinion. It was even banned in Lebanon and pulled in Kuwait over Gal Gadot boycotts. 91% of IMDb reviews were 1 stars. A literal digital dumpster fire. This movie was controversial before a single frame was shot. Casting debates, Zegler's Free Palestine post in 2024 sparking backlash against co-star Gal Gadot, and her post-election comment about Trump voters never knowing peace. Then there were her own comments mocking the original 1937 film as dated and weird. Fox News and others accused Glamour of rewarding anti-Israel hate. Producer Mark Platt's son even said Zegler's posts clearly hurt the film's box office. Yeah, you think? When your movie's biggest headlines come from Twitter fights instead of ticket sales, that's a little bit of a problem. In her Glamour interview, Zegler tried to reframe the narrative, and I quote, "I loved working on Snow White. It became #1 on Disney Plus, so I know it's celebrated." Yeah, about that. #1 for 3 days because it was new. I mean, every release does that. She added that negativity is often louder than positivity, and Mirren praised her courage and fortitude. Courage? Fortitude? That's one way to describe alienating half your audience while promoting a family film. Here's the irony in all of this. Zegler, she's actually talented. Her performance in Evita was widely praised. But the track record? Well, West Side Story 2021, $76 million worldwide. Shazam! Fear of the Gods, $134 million. Hunger Games prequel, $349 million. Barely profitable. And you've got Snow White, $206 million on a $270 million budget. That's 4 in a row. At some point, Hollywood has to ask, is this star power or a PR hazard? Glamour's framing her as a rebel voice of a new generation, or maybe they're just celebrating the chaos. So let's wrap this up. Rachel Zegler being named Woman of the Year is either proof that Hollywood has a short memory or that they've redefined success as controversy equals clicks. She's talented. Nobody's denying that. But when you've turned a $350 million movie into a political battlefield, maybe of the year isn't the honor you want. So what do you guys think? Is Glamour completely out of touch, or is Rachel Zegler just playing Hollywood's game better than anyone else? Drop your take below, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and remember, numbers don't lie, but PR departments definitely do. Thanks for watching. I'm the Critical Nerd, and I'll see you in the next one.